Okay, so let's get right into it. Today, we are breaking down the book Choose Your Life, which is basically a roadmap for getting off that autopilot we all find ourselves on and stepping into a life that feels, well, truly extraordinary. It's a really powerful guide, and we're going to pull out the absolute core ideas for you. The book kicks off with this beautiful quote from the Velveteen Rabbit, and it just perfectly sets the stage. The whole journey it's describing, it's not about becoming some totally different person. It's about becoming real, shedding all those layers we've built up over the years to finally reveal the authentic person we were all along. And that really brings us to the central question, doesn't it? The authors make this point that so many of us are just walking around like zombies, glued to our screens, totally out of touch with what's happening inside us, let alone around us. We're living a life that was kind of handed to us, not one that we consciously chose for ourselves. But here's the good news, here's the hope, right? This book is designed to be a direct path away from that default, ordinary setting. It's really for anyone who's just tired of the same old patterns and is finally ready to step into something more, something that feels, well, extraordinary. So look, the book officially gives you these 5 powerful steps, and they're all super important, don't get me wrong, but the entire philosophy, all of it, it really rests on 3 foundational pillars, and that's what we're going to zero in on today. Seeing your inner world, owning your reality, and then designing your life in action. All right, let's jump into that first pillar. It is all about awareness, because as the book puts it so well, you can't really intervene in a world that you can't see. And this metaphor just illustrates the point perfectly. I mean, seriously, think about it. You open up a Maps app on your phone to get directions somewhere new. What is the very first thing it has to do? It has to find your current location, right? You can't chart a course to where you're going if you don't even know where you are. Your life is exactly the same. So seeing our starting point really means looking at 2 main things. First up, we've got to recognize our unconscious habits. Think of these as the default programming running in the back of your mind. Beliefs about money, about relationships, about yourself. Things we just picked up and never, ever questioned. They're secretly running the show and keeping us on autopilot. And whenever we try to break free from those habits, well, we run smack into these things. Internal blockers. The book calls them the ego's personal security team. And their only job, their entire mission, is to keep you safe in your comfort zone by sabotaging any attempt you make at growth or real change. Now, what's so powerful about this is just how familiar these blockers feel. Does any of this sound like you? I mean, come on. Perfectionism whispering in your ear. Don't start until it's flawless. Procrastination, suddenly finding a million other urgent things to do. Overanalysis that keeps you trapped in your head so you never actually take action. These are the classic tools your ego uses to keep you playing small. Okay, so once you can actually see your inner world, the next step is huge. It's taking complete and total ownership of it. This brings us to pillar 2, owning your reality. The book calls this insane responsibility. And yeah, that sounds pretty intense, right? But stick with me. This is a radical idea. It's the principle that you are the author of your life. Now, this is not about blaming yourself for every bad thing that happens out there. It's about recognizing that you are empowered to be responsible for your experience of those things. This distinction right here, this is absolutely key. Bad things will happen. Pain is just a part of being human. But according to the book, suffering, that comes from the stories we tell ourselves about the pain. Suffering is the choice to keep reliving it, to stay a victim of that story. So let's make this super clear. On one side, you've got the fact. For example, my partner arrived home late. Period. That's it. It's neutral, it's objective data. But then you have the story. My partner arrived home late because they don't care about me anymore. See, all the pain, all the suffering, it lives in the story we create, not in the fact itself. And the book argues we participate in our reality in one of 3 ways. We either actively create the conditions for something to happen, we passively allow it to happen over and over by not speaking up or setting a boundary, or we sustain the pain by refusing to let go of an old story, by refusing to forgive. But here is maybe the most transformative idea in this whole section. Instead of seeing your frustrations as just problems, what if you saw them as signposts? The thing you complain about the most is like a giant, flashing arrow pointing directly at what you are here to change, to fix, or to create in the world. Your complaint is actually your mission in disguise. So you've seen your patterns, and you've owned your reality. The third and final pillar is where the rubber meets the road. It is about putting it all into practice. It's time to act. The authors use this really powerful metaphor for this part, the warrior's journey. So picture this. Your dream life is waiting for you in a castle far away. But to get there, you first have to leave the safety and the familiarity of your little village, your comfort zone. And the second you do, you step into what they call the testing grounds, which is like a dark forest filled with monsters. Now, these monsters are the challenges, the setbacks, the failures. But they aren't there to stop you. They are there to test your commitment and to make you stronger. And here's the secret. Every challenge you overcome, every single monster you defeat, is what gives you the strength and the skill to finally reach that castle. The journey through those testing grounds is what actually prepares you to handle the dream itself. And this requires a total rewiring of how you think about failure. In this mindset, failure isn't a dead end. It's not a verdict on who you are. It's just information. It's data. It's the world telling you, hey, that approach didn't work. Try another one. It's your chance to learn, adjust your course, and come back even smarter. And what are we even aiming for anyway? This is such a brilliant point. We think we want the six-figure salary or the perfect relationship, but do we, really? No. What we actually want is the feeling we believe those things will give us. The feeling of security or love or freedom or significance. That feeling, that's the true target. And finally, through all of this, all the awareness, all the responsibility, all the action, we absolutely cannot forget the last crucial ingredient: fun. The whole point of building an extraordinary life is to actually enjoy it. This journey isn't meant to be some grim, serious project. It's supposed to be fun. Joy isn't the reward at the end. It's a vital part of the process itself. So let's land the plane with this question, just for you. Bringing it all together, what's that one recurring complaint in your life, maybe about your job, your city, the world? Now, what if instead of seeing it as just a complaint, you saw it as your call to action? What would it look like to accept that mission starting today?